Hello! In this video I am going to show you a dynamic warm-up that you can use for a group of people, for a team, for individuals, something you can do every day. Going to take the body through full range of motion for all the joints and loosen up all the muscles and get everything going. And I'm going to do some descriptive stuff for all my visually impaired followers so that you can follow along and learn and practice. So here we go, let's get started right now. We're going to start with marching in place. And with a little marching in place, we want to make sure that we're bringing up the knees high enough to where they're coming up at least almost all the way up to where your thighs parallel, or preferably if you can get it all the way up to parallel, so that you're really getting those hip flexors awake and lifting those knees up nice and high. And then you're pumping the arms really good while you're breathing all the way in and out. Okay, this is going to be a little bit cardio-ish too. So the heart's going to be working, the lungs are going to be working as we go through all of these different activities. Okay, but really kind of swinging the arms good so that you get those elbows in the back and you get the knees up in the front. And you can even add a little bit of rotation to it too, to where you can get those arms going across the body just a little bit so they end up over the top of the opposite leg. If you want to add a little bit of rotation, you can do that. Okay, so then we're going to do a couple of seconds of actually running in place. So we'll run in place, being light on the toes, still pumping the arms, still getting those knees up nice and high, keeping the spine up nice and tall, pumping everything through there, and then shutting that down. All right, and then we're going to roll the head around. We're going to do some neck rotations. So we'll bring the chin all the way up and we'll just roll that head all the way around one side, all the way around to the front, and all the way around to the back. We're just going to do like 3 times each direction, going all the way around. And then we're going to switch directions, going 3 times all the way around the other way. Just trying to take your head and neck through full range of motion. And if you feel any tight spot, you can spend more time there trying to open up that tissue. Okay? So then let's go with some windmills. So the arms are going to be straight out to the side like you're in a big T, and you're just going to take right hand down to the left foot and then back up, and then left hand to the right foot and then back up, making sure to come all the way up to tall in between each one so that you make your arms and your chest as wide as you can at the top every time. And you think about being as tall as you can at the top every time, kind of reaching the head and the rib cage up away from your hips and your pelvis. And the knees can be nice and soft. So you don't want you to have your knees locked out. Not a matter of hyperextending the knees. It's all about just getting through that range of motion so that we stretch and take the glutes and the hamstring and the low back through a full range of motion. And we kind of get the upper back going a little bit and the shoulders going a little bit as we just go one way and then the other way. So I try to go about 10 times to each side, sometimes a little bit more. All right, and then we'll stop that. Then we're going to do some big arm circles backwards, so real slow. Going to inhale up the front, all the way up over the top, trying to stretch and touch the ceiling, and then reaching back behind you as we exhale, coming down around the back. Big inhale up the front, over the top, big exhale down around the back. Big inhale up the front, big exhale down around the back. Big inhale up the front, big exhale down around the back. It's real slow, the biggest circle you possibly can make. So you take those shoulders through the biggest range of motion you can. Then we're going to switch directions and we're going to go forward. The big inhale up the back, and the big exhale down the front. The big inhale up the back, and the big exhale down around the front. Nice and slow and steady, under control. Big inhale up the back. Big exhale down around the front. Big inhale up the back. Big exhale down the front, and then one more time. Big inhale up the back, and big exhale down the front. All right, and then we're just gonna do some basic squats. You can just have the arms out in front of you. You can have them in front of your chest. You can have your arms crossed across your chest. Feet in a comfortable squat stance for you. Okay, if you need to know where that is, look at my videos that I do on squatting, okay, to figure out where your feet should be, because it's different for all of us. It all depends upon the shape of our body. And then we're just gonna drop those hips down, bending those knees, and then coming back up. You might hear some popping and clicking in my knees a little bit because I haven't really done this too much yet today. So, but just dropping all the way down easy and then coming back up. So we don't wanna really bounce, we just wanna slowly lower ourselves down and come all the way back up. Getting down to about the point where your thighs are parallel to the floor, roughly around that point. Okay, you don't need to go any deeper than that. Also listen to your knees. If your knees are sore, then don't go quite as deep. Just go to what doesn't cause any pain and then come back up. Go down to what doesn't cause pain and then come back up. Just nice and easy. Breathing all the way in, all the way out. Being nice and tall at the top, where we do a good 10 to 15 of our squats. In through there, nice and simple. And so I'm just going to do one more here. And then from there I'm going to do a little bit of rotation. So I'm just going to have the arms out to the side. We kind of call these helicopters. Where we're just going to rotate all the way one way, all the way the other way. All the way one way, all the way the other way. You kind of want to be looking over the shoulder that you're rotating towards a little bit too. Okay, keeping the spine nice and tall. You want to pivot on the trailing foot. So if I'm rotating to my right, I pivot on my left foot, and if I pivot to my left, I pivot on my right foot so that I'm turning it each way. Just like when you're swinging the bat or you're swinging a golf club or anything like that, you rotate your hips, you rotate your feet. So you want to do that as you're doing this as well. And that way we loosen up all these muscles and warm up all that lumbar spine and thoracic spine as we do this. Okay. So the next thing is going to be what I call step, bend, and touch. So I do this a lot with my clients. Kind of wakes everything up. So we're going to reach way up overhead. Our feet are right about at our hip width. I'm going to step out with my right foot. The knee's going to be kind of bent, and I'm going to come all the way down and bend forward and touch my right foot with my right hands, well, with both hands actually. And then I'm going to push back out of that, come all the way up to tall, reaching towards the ceiling, and then exhaling and coming all the way down to the other side, so that I'm stepping out with that left foot and bringing the hands to my left foot. So we're reaching to the ceiling, and then all the way down to the foot on the right, reaching to the ceiling, all the way down to the foot on the left. Reaching to the ceiling, all the way down, stepping out and reaching all the way down to that foot, stepping out to the left, touching the left foot, back to tall, down to the right. So this is a nice dynamic movement. It gets the glutes awake, it gets the hamstrings awake, it gets the back awake, it gets the shoulders awake. It's everything going, and we're kind of moving in our frontal plane from side to side. So it gets kind of those lateral stabilizers going and gets them awake too. You really want to make sure that you're stretching everything up tall there in the middle before coming down to the other side. Don't cut it short so that you get it done faster. It's like get all the way to the foot or as close as you can, and then get all the way to the ceiling, and then all the way down to the other side. Okay? Always do your very best. That's how you get better, is by always doing your very best. So I'll do about 10 to 15 each side there. Just like so. All right. And now that those shoulders are a little bit more awake and that sort of thing, I'll do little circles. So arms straight out to the sides. And we're going to do 10 little circles real fast backwards. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to do 10 little circles forward real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that kind of gets those shoulders stretched out and the circles going. We're going to do one more of each way. So backwards one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, then we're gonna do some lateral lunges. So we're gonna step out to the side. We're gonna drop those hips down as if we were sitting on a little stool back behind us, and then we're gonna step out to the other side, dropping down on a little stool back behind us that way. You really wanna think about bending the knee, keeping your upper body up. Okay, and just once again, listening to the knees, listening to the hips, listening to the feet, moving in that frontal plane so that we loosen up the legs, we get the quads starting to go, the hamstrings, the glutes, the calves, and the stability, and we're doing it all keeping our torso upright so that we wake up the inside of the legs, the outside of the legs, and everything else. You can hear how my breathing is starting to increase, my heart rate's starting to increase, okay? That's why it's dynamic, it's why it's a little bit cardiovascular, okay? Because your body's gonna have to use oxygen for energy to do all of these activities. Nice and easy back and forth. So I'll do, once again, about 10 to 15 to each side. This is really great to do every day and before every time you're going to work out or play in your sport or anything like that. I basically do this and or something like this before every workout. I'm just going to go one more each way just to really make sure those knees and hips are all nice and awake. All right, then we're going to do a little side stretching. So I'm going to reach my left arm down my side and reach the right arm over the top. So I stretch out that whole right side, and then I'm going to switch over to the other side, reaching the right arm down the side and the left arm over the top, reaching, 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 and then back over the other way, reaching, reaching, reaching. So right arm down the side, left arm over the top, left arm down the side, right arm over the top, and you're really trying to stretch as high as you can with that top arm and as low as you can with the bottom arm. Just bend into the side. Everybody's going to be able to go a little farther or shorter depending. I have very little room between my pelvis and my bottom rib, so I don't bend a whole lot this direction. So I don't go very far, where other people, they will have this huge bend in their side because they have got much more room between their rib cage and their pelvis. I do not. So for me, this one is rather challenging, and I need to stretch these muscles in lots of different ways to get them open and loose. All right, so then I'm going to do the last one there. All right, so a little bit more dynamic. Now we're going to do what I call invisible jump roping. So we're going to pretend like we're jump roping and using our hands to twirl that jump rope around and bouncing on the toes so that you stay on the balls of the feet. Don't have to come off the ground very much. So, but nice and easy and simple. Breathing all the way in, all the way out, having a nice tall spine, and trying to get on and off the ground basically as quickly as you can. So I'll do about anywhere between 40 and 100 of these, but I'm just going to do about that many right there. And then I'm going to shut that down. And then we want to do a quick little stretch of our triceps and our lats. So I'm going to put my left arm down my back, just like so, right behind at the base of the neck, with my hand down the back and the elbows to the sky. My right hand on that left elbow, and I'm just going to push down on that left elbow, and I'm going to just lean a little bit to my right so that you get a stretch in through the tricep and down through that left lat, down through your side that way. Just hold that for a couple of seconds, and then I'm going to shake that arm out. And then the right hand down the back of the neck, right elbow to the sky, and that left hand on top of that right elbow, pushing that down a little bit, leaning a little bit to the left so that you get the stretch in through the right tricep and through the right lat, so that that's all good there. And then I'm going to shake that arm out. Alrighty. So then we're going to do a couple of front lunges. So being up nice and tall, I'm going to step out with my right foot. I'm going to bend my left knee, taking it straight down towards the ground. And then I'm going to push out of that right foot and come all the way up to tall. Step out with my left, bend my right knee, push out of that left foot, and come all the way up to tall. Okay, so we always want to work as much a range of motion as we can, going one side, other side, not leaning forward, but staying up tall. Once again, if you need help with lunging, I have a whole playlist here on my channel teaching people how to lunge, as well as showing you lots of exercises to progress and build up the strength so that you can lunge. All right, so I'm just going to do a couple more, one there on the right, and one more there on the left. And then from there we're going to go right into jumping jacks. I think everybody knows how to do jumping jacks. But once again, light on the toes, arms up over the head. Don't slap your sides, use your muscles to stop your arms at the bottom. So once again, dynamic with the legs, dynamic with the arms and the shoulders. Okay, don't cut anything short. Make sure everything's moving through a full range of motion. And then we're going to shut those down. I will do anywhere between 20 and 50 of those. Then we're going to do some quick little push-ups. So down to the floor, you can be on the knees, you can be on the toes, whatever works good for you. But we just want to make sure that we drop all the way down and come all the way back up. Okay, and do that fairly smooth, belly button in. Don't let the back arch. Okay, don't have the butt way up in the air. If it's too hard to do with the toes on the ground, then put the knees on the ground and do it that way. But build your push-ups up. Once again, I got lots of videos on how to do push-ups too. So I'll do anywhere between 10 and 25 of those. You can hear how breathing, heart rate, everything is going. Okay, so from there, I will commonly do a couple more helicopters, real quick that way, just to loosen those sides up just a little bit more. Just a few. We'll do a couple more of those windmills with the hands out to the sides, feet outside the shoulders, and opposite hand down to the opposite foot. Boom, couple more of these, just to make sure everything's nice and loose, so that you're over and up, over, up, over and up, so that we get everything all nice and awake. Do a couple more quick little jump ropes. Boom, a couple more little marching in place. And a couple of jumping jacks. And then I finish off with like 3 to 5 squat jumps. Squatting all the way down, jumping, landing, jumping, landing, jumping, landing, jumping, landing, jumping, and landing. All right, so that's my kind of whole get the body going, warm up before a workout, before playing team sports, all that kind of good stuff. I like some running in there as well, if you can fit it in there. But this is, if you're limited on space, you can do this in your living room. You can do this every morning, and it's going to make your body more awake. It's going to speed up your metabolism, and it's going to get your little cardio going, that heart going, and everything feeling really good. So, I'm Michael Finn, holistic exercise and lifestyle coach. I hope you like this. If you do, please hit the like button. Tell your friends, hit the subscribe button. This is great for beat ball players, for doing all year round. Just to let you know. Look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Hope you all have a happy and healthy day.